Connor, good to have you with us. So as I said there, Connor Robinson claiming that the minimum unit price has reduced death by 156 per year, but overall, deaths by alcohol in Scotland have been on the increase, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. Scotland has a notorious and destructive relationship when it comes to alcohol, and dating back years, the Scottish Government had been under pressure to come up with initiatives to try and pull that trend back down again. And one of the initiatives was minimum unit pricing, and there was lots of legal challenges leading up to the eventual introduction of that policy back in 2018. What is minimum unit pricing? Well, it is the floor price that a unit of alcohol can be sold at, and it was set at 50 pence a unit. Now, there has been 5 years of this being in force, and as Connor Robinson was just saying there, in Holyrood, there's a sunset clause that allows them to look again as to whether this has worked. Now, experts have analysed this. Clearly, it has been controversial at times. The drinks industry wasn't in particular in favour of this to start with, and the analysis has suggested that if this policy had not been in place, then deaths would have been on average about 13% higher than they were. However, in the latest statistical year, there were the highest number of alcohol-related deaths in Scotland since 2008. So that has led some to question whether this policy has worked at all. Now, in response to that, clearly the government has been under pressure to take more radical steps. Inflation has been a part here in eroding that 50 pence limit that was set before. And that is why, in the last few minutes, that breaking news that Holyrood, the Scottish Government, has adopted that 65 pence minimum unit price per unit of alcohol, which is a 30% jump. The drinks industry has reacted to this, saying it is not a good thing to do during a cost of living crisis when inflation and household pressures are really biting for people at the moment in terms of their finances. But all of the health campaigners, the health professionals, and those in the campaigning side of things have suggested that this will save hundreds of lives every year, and it's something that is to be expected. Now, the current 50 pence limit will expire essentially at the end of April, and this new 65 pence minimum unit price should kick in May, subject to parliamentary approval.
OK, Connor, thank you for that. And, of course, Connor Robinson was the one giving the statement there to Holyrood because something's happened with the current or former Health Secretary, Michael Matheson.
Yeah, that's right. Humza Yousaf, the current First Minister, does not have his troubles to seek. He has had a bumpy year, I think it's fair to say, since becoming the leader of Scotland, taking over from Nicola Sturgeon. And here he is today without a health secretary who has been mired in scandal surrounding an £11,000 iPad roaming bill that was racked up during a family holiday that he was enjoying at the start of 2023 with his family. There have been a series of stories around that bill. Michael Matheson initially tried to suggest he was using the iPad for parliamentary and constituency reasons. That then changed after severe political pressure from opposition opponents here in Scotland, and they then said that he should pay some of that back. That happened. There was an investigation at Holyrood. The findings of that are due to be published in the coming days, and I think the heat got too much for Michael Matheson. He knew the writing was on the wall because it became apparent when he finally confessed that the reason for that £11,000 iPad bill was because his sons had been watching the football. It is an embarrassing moment. It's a humiliating moment for the Scottish Government. I'm here at St Andrew's House, which is the headquarters of the Scottish Government. Inside that building is Humza Yousaf doing a cabinet reshuffle at the moment. And I think we can hear now from Humza Yousaf, who was put under pressure at Holyrood in the last few hours.
Michael Matheson, of course, did make a mistake. He made that mistake and he apologised for that mistake. What he did ask for was due process. And I think somebody who served this Parliament, served his country, served in the government, not for years actually, he served in this Parliament for decades, that he should be afforded that due process. That due process, as it's coming to its conclusion, Michael has come to the conclusion himself that he should stand down. And I, of course, have accepted his resignation.
So that reshuffle is continuing behind us as we speak. We'll bring you updates here on Sky News when we get it, though I think this is another tricky moment for Humza Yousaf in what is set to be a big general election year.